2017 was like so many other Chicago Bears seasons in my adulthood. Largely one gigantic waste of time. Not a surprise, big deal. But what I can say is that 2018 has gotten off to a rip-roaring, glorious start. There wasn't a lot that I asked for Christmas. There wasn't a lot that I wanted as a sports fan. But one of those things that was vitally, critically important to me was that the Chicago Bears come to their senses, get some brain matter in their heads, and make the right move, and that is fire that bum John Fox. This was another 3 years wasted. And I could sit there and think about the next decision, who's going to be the next guy. All I know is right now, Jeff is happy. This haggard-looking bum that looked like he was as much on death's door as he did actually giving a crap about the games that he was in. This guy that really stunted Trubisky's growth during the course of his rookie season because he surrounded himself with completely and totally incompetent offensive people, has finally been shown the door. And was it bad enough that the Broncos, in the mix of trying to contend for Super Bowls, decided that they didn't want this bum anymore? The Chicago Bears decided, because they just had to listen to freaking Ernie Accorsi, that they wanted to give this asshat 3 freaking years to do absolutely nothing. The big promised year 2 turnaround under John Fox didn't happen. The growth and progression of the team didn't happen. And you can sit there and make excuses about injuries. You can make excuses about this. You can make excuses about that. But the bottom line is the talent cupboard is better than it was in several areas on this team than it was before John Fox got there, and he's done nothing with it. The only thing this knucklehead did for the Chicago Bears in 2017 was win just enough meaningless football games to still be bad but not be that terrible to where they missed out on getting a top 5 pick. Thanks a lot, John Fox. We reached an important critical moment in the Chicago Bears organization's history, though. Ryan Pace has been given a contract extension. Not a surprise, as he should have, because as he's looking to go out there and hire a new head coach and potentially give him a 4 to 5 year deal, it's going to be a lot more challenging to find the right guy, the guy you want. If you're kind of close to being a lame duck as a general manager and you're thinking about bringing this guy in for 3, 4, 5 years, he's going to want some type of consistency in the organizational hierarchy. So that had to happen. It's still concerning that the same knuckleheads in George McCaskey and Ted Phillips that don't know football from their asshole or a hole in the ground are going to be involved in the interviewing process, because if I'm not mistaken, they were involved with the interviewing process when it came to John Fox. And, oh, that was a good one, just like it was for Mark Trestman. Oh, that was a good one too. But ultimately, there is potential here for a new start and a new way forward. And this is that moment in time for Ryan Pace. 2 things that general managers are mostly measured by: their head coaching hire and their quarterback. You could argue about whether or not John Fox was Ryan Pace's hire. It kind of quasi was, but I really truly believe that it might not have been. I really think it reeks of Ted Phillips and George McCaskey. And based off of those 2 knuckleheads' history, do you have any reason to doubt otherwise? These are the guys that helped hire Phil Emery to be the general manager. Before that, the Ayatollah Angelo. I mean, let's call it as we see it. Their track record indicates that they do stupid things, like Ted Phillips has a job for a whack-ass stadium deal that he got a decade and a freaking half ago. That's the only reason he's still employed, yet alone having that type of standing still in the organization. But for Ryan Pace right now, he made the move in this past draft to get Mitchell Trubisky. And frankly, the jury is out, good, bad, or otherwise. How the hell could you effectively judge him under the John Fox leadership, similar to how we learned you shouldn't have judged Jared Goff so much based off of Jeff Fisher's whack-ass, out-of-date leadership? This is Pace's chance. He's got to redo a chance to do it right. And I don't know if it's going to be Pete Carmichael, the offensive coordinator from the Saints. I don't know if it's going to be Pat Shurmur, the Vikings offensive coordinator. I don't know if it's going to be Frank Reich, the Eagles offensive coordinator. Joe DiFilippo, the quarterback's coach for the Eagles. Matt Nagy, the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. I don't know. It could be any one of those guys. And I don't know if one guy makes the most sense over anybody else. All I know is this. Is a damn sure better be an offensive-minded guy. Furthermore, an offensive guy that actually knows what the hell he's doing on the offensive side of the football. You know, the anti-Dowell Loggins. So whether it's one of those guys that I named or somebody else, here's Ryan Pace's chance to get it right. And it has to be right. Because if it's not right, that means we're going to waste several more years as Bears fans watching a crappy team not make the playoffs. That ultimately means that Mitchell Trubisky is not going to develop in the franchise quarterback that some of us didn't think he could be, but all of us know ultimately we need him and want him to be, because if he isn't, then that sets the organization back for years. That means Ryan Pace is going to be fired, and we're right back in that same cycle of suck all over again. This is a glorious day for Bears fans. That knucklehead Fox has been shown the freaking door, and it couldn't have happened soon enough, and I'm surprised they allowed him to coach the string out through the entire season. He was a lame duck, and he was a lame duck-ass coach, and I'm glad he's gone, period. Bear down. It's time for a new beginning.